Hello and welcome to another edition of Shiro Kashi Aikido Online. In this class we'll be looking at the 7 Ken Suburi. To begin with, it's important we have the correct hanmi. So we turn it into right hanmi. So your back foot turns at 90 degrees to your right foot, and there's a line back through your toe and your heel to your back foot. You extend the Ken, gripping with the left hand, the last 2 fingers, and the right hand about a fist width apart. To start with, just get the weight of the Ken. So I'm going to use Kokyu in my left hand to just flick the Ken slightly up. My right hand is holding very lightly just to get the weight of the Ken, to get some movement. And once I have got the weight and the feel of it, I can then bring it back behind my back to start the Suburi. So you'll see that as it goes behind my back, I'm drawing my front foot, my right foot backwards. I'm also breathing in. And then to commit the cut, I start to slide my foot forward, start to breathe out, and lower my hands and cut to a horizontal position here. You're aiming to try to get your timing with your Ken as close as you can. So by the time you've drawn back, your Ken is right behind your back, down between your shoulder blades. And then as you finish your cut nice and horizontal, your front foot comes down and your heel makes contact with the mat and become grounded. The second Ken Suburi starts in the same hanmi, exactly the same posture. This time you actually step right back, raising the Ken above your head. If we look at the feet, you'll see I've moved from right hanmi back into left hanmi. So let's see that again from the start. Just Kokyu in the left hand, it pushes the Ken high above your head, almost like you're blocking, protecting yourself. And then you lower it behind your back, and then step forward and cut back into the start position. And then we can repeat this. So use the hips to pull the foot back and to pull the Ken high. And breathe in as you pull back, and then breathe out as you cut. And again, horizontal finish on the cuts. In the third Ken Suburi, we take another deep step back, but this time we push the Ken high above the head vertically. We then lower it down and drop the hips slightly before turning, step forward and cut. It's important that the Ken is in a vertical position above your head, directly above your head like a lightning rod. Relax in this position here, drop it behind your back, step forward and cut. And the breathing is breathe in as you raise. Hold the breath and push it down into your center as you lower the Ken and drop the hips. And then breathe out in Ki as you cut. So let's see this from the other angle so you can see the relaxed arms. Okay, there's the Ken above the head, and we can see now the arms are relaxed and the arms become extended, and the Ken becomes an extension of that front arm, that left arm. In the fourth Ken Suburi, we start to travel as we cut. The start is slightly different, as you see there. So there's no draw back with the front foot. In fact, it only goes forward in a lunge. The Ken goes behind the back high, we lunge forward and cut straight. And then we step forward on the second cut to make a second Shomanuchi. So we have first Shomanuchi, step forward into second Shomanuchi. We continue as long as the mat is. In this case, we haven't got much space, so we turn on the spar to make another Shomanuchi cut. And then we continue back and forth across the mat. So each cut must finish flat. When you're in left hanmi, make sure you're pulling your right shoulder back. So there we can see the right shoulder being drawn back before we turn and cut. Again, the fifth Suburi is a cut where you constantly step forward. In this case, you make a block to start with, so there's a raise above your head to make a Yokoman strike. So you see that the front foot opens slightly the same direction as the Ken, before it goes behind your back, step forward and cut with a Yokoman strike. Same on the turn, same turn as we did on the fourth Suburi. We can see each time the Ken moves to the opposite side, opens, as does the foot, before going behind the back, stepping forward and cutting. The sixth Ken Suburi starts the same as the second. So we step back, changing Hanmi, raising the Ken high above the head. Dropping the Ken behind the back, step forward and cut. This time we add a thrust. Okay, so let's have a look at that again. So you'll be familiar with the second Suburi. After the cut, we turn the Ken slightly on its side and the whole body lunges through. So the arms are not elasticated, they don't bounce back and forth away from the body. The whole movement stays together with an extension. Now in this example, because of the lack of mat space, we're just doing one Suburi, then turning on the spot. If you have the space, your second cut would be a Yokoman as you did on the fifth Suburi, followed by another thrust. In the seventh Suburi, we start the same as number 2 and number 6. So again, we get that step back, drop the Ken, step forward and cut. This time we make a thrust, but we do it with the opposite leg. So the left foot comes forward and we make a nice straight thrust, again turning the Ken over to the side. Again, because we've got a short mat space here, we're just doing one movement before turning on the spot and repeating it. If you have got the space, then you would continue with a left hand Yokomanuchi strike following to another ski. So that very briefly is the 7 Ken Suburi. I hope you found it useful.